In the heart of Africa, where mist dances above emerald canopies and sunlight filters through ancient leaves, lies a world so wild, so uncharted it almost feels forbidden. Welcome to the Congo Basin, a living, breathing masterpiece of nature where time itself seems to hold its breath. Here, the air hums with secrets older than humankind and every shadow hides a story untold. It's a place where elephants carve paths through dense jungles, gorillas whisper among the vines, and rivers coil like silver serpents through the unknown. A place where mystery doesn't live, it reigns. Tonight we step beyond the maps. We journey into the green heart of darkness and wonder to uncover the hidden marvels, ancient legends, and breathtaking truths of a jungle so vast it shapes the rhythm of our planet. But before we dive into this extraordinary expedition, don't forget to Eli Ke, Subi and Koa Mient below, because what you're about to discover will change how you see our world forever. They call it the green giant of the planet, an empire of life so vast it stretches beyond the horizon of imagination. The Congo Basin is not just a forest, it's a living, breathing organism, the beating heart of Africa, pulsing with mystery, beauty, and danger. Imagine a world where trees tower like skyscrapers, where vines twist and coil in an endless waltz with sunlight, and where the air itself feels alive, thick, humming, electric with the sound of creation. Covering over 500 million acres, the Congo Basin stretches across 6 nations, from the Republic of the Congo to Cameroon. From the Central African Republic to Gabon, Equatorial Guinea, and the Democratic Republic of the Congo, it's so immense it could swallow entire countries and still have room to breathe. Scientists say it holds over 10,000 species of tropical plants, nearly a third of which exist nowhere else on Earth. This is not just a jungle, it's a continent of green, a cathedral of nature untouched by time. As you step into its shadow, light filters through layers of emerald canopy, scattering into 1,000 shades of gold. Every sound feels amplified, the cry of a distant hornbill, the whisper of leaves underfoot, the sudden snap of a branch as a hidden creature retreats into the dark. Here, every inch of soil tells a story written in roots, fossils, and echoes of ancient rain. Beneath the thick web of foliage, there are rivers that never see the sun, flowing silently like veins through the body of the jungle. In those waters dwell fish found nowhere else, some glowing faintly in the blackness, others older than recorded history. The Congo River, the jungle's silver artery, cuts through this vast wilderness for nearly 3,000 miles, its depths still unexplored, its mysteries still unsolved. They say that if you stand by its edge at dawn, you can feel the pulse of the world itself. But the Congo Basin is more than breathtaking beauty. It's a planetary engine. Its trees breathe out the oxygen that sustains life across continents. It absorbs billions of tons of carbon every year, silently balancing the Earth's fragile atmosphere. Scientists call it a global thermostat. But for the creatures that call it home, from forest elephants to lowland gorillas, it's simply life, pure, endless wildlife. Everywhere you look, life has found a way to adapt, to evolve, to thrive. Giant ferns sprout from rotting logs that once held birds' nests. Insects shimmer like jewels beneath the canopy. Butterflies the size of your hand drift lazily through the filtered light. And somewhere in the undergrowth, a leopard moves like a whisper, unseen but ever present. This is a realm older than civilization itself. Before the first city rose, before the first empire fell, the Congo Basin was already ancient, a witness to time, a keeper of secrets. Civilizations have come and gone, but the jungle endures, patient, eternal, untamed. And yet, despite its immensity, the Congo remains fragile, threatened by the chainsaws of progress, the greed of those who see it not as a wonder, but as a resource. Every fallen tree, every burnt acre silences a voice in nature's great choir. But the jungle resists. It breathes, it fights back, because deep within this green giant, nature remembers. It remembers the first rain, the first dawn, the first heartbeat of Earth. The Congo Basin is not just a place, it's a living legacy, a testament to what the world once was and what it could still be if we listen to its voice before it fades into silence. Beneath the emerald veil of the Congo Basin, a river moves, slow, powerful, eternal. It is not just a river, it is the heartbeat of a continent, the silver thread that weaves together life, death, and rebirth. The Congo River, a name whispered in awe, in fear, in reverence. It is said that the river doesn't flow through the jungle flows because of it. Born in the highlands of the East African Rift, the Congo River begins as a whisper of streams, gathering strength as it carves through the heart of darkness. It twists and turns for nearly 3,000 miles, a journey so immense that it crosses both hemispheres before surrendering its strength to the Atlantic Ocean. But what makes this river unlike any other is not just its size, it's its soul. With depths plunging beyond 720 feet, the Congo is the deepest river on Earth, its waters hiding secrets that sunlight has never touched. Scientists have sent cameras down into its depths, but even today, much of what lies beneath remains a mystery. There are fish with eyes that glow in the pitch black, species that have evolved in isolation for millions of years, adapting to a world without light. Some creatures are believed to be found nowhere else on the planet, ghosts of evolution, living fossils drifting through ancient currents. It's a world so strange, so alien, it feels closer to another planet than our own. But the Congo River is more than a wonder of nature. It is the lifeblood of an entire civilization. More than 75 million people depend on it for food, for transport, for survival. Along its shores, fishermen cast nets in rhythms passed down through generations. Children splash in its shallows, their laughter blending with the calls of distant birds. Wooden canoes glide across the mirror like water, carrying fruit, spices, and stories between hidden villages. For those who live beside it, the river is family. Ancient, wise, unpredictable, and alive. Its power is unmatched. In some places, the current is so strong it can pull a man under in seconds. Waves rise from nowhere, crashing like thunder in the middle of the jungle. This is a river that has carved mountains, sculpted valleys, and defied everything humanity has ever tried to build upon it. It humbles explorers and drowns machines. It has been called both a god and a monster, feeding life one moment and taking it the next. And yet, it nourishes everything it touches. It feeds the forests, replenishes the soil, and gives birth to the endless green that stretches across the basin. The Congo River carries with it the breath of the jungle, each droplet evaporating into clouds that drift above the canopy, falling again as rain, creating an eternal cycle that sustains half a continent. The forest drinks the river, and the river is born from the forest. One cannot exist without the other. But beyond its beauty and might lies something deeper, an ancient spirit. Local tribes believe the river has a soul, that it listens, remembers, and watches over those who respect it. In their songs, it is called Nzadi O Nanzir, the river that swallows all rivers. To them, it is sacred, a bridge between the living and the spirits of the past. When storms roll across its surface and lightning shatters the sky, they say it is the river speaking, reminding mankind of its power, of its patience, and of its warning. For centuries, explorers sought to conquer the Congo River, to map it, to own it. But no one truly has. It remains wild, defiant, and mysterious, a reminder that some forces on Earth were never meant to be tamed. Even today, with satellites watching from above, there are parts of its basin untouched by human feet. Where the river still runs through worlds forgotten by time, the Congo River doesn't just flow through Africa, it flows through history, through myth, through the veins of the planet itself. It is a force older than civilization, and perhaps wiser than it too. And as long as its waters move, the jungle will breathe, the earth will balance, and the story of life itself will continue to be written in ripples of silver and shadows of green. In the depths of the Congo Basin, where sunlight barely touches the forest floor and silence hums like a living thing, there exists a realm of giants, a kingdom unlike any other on Earth. This is where evolution carved life on a grand scale, where creatures of immense power and quiet intelligence rule beneath the emerald canopy. Here, the laws of the ordinary world no longer apply. Every movement, every shadow, every breath belongs to an ancient order, a kingdom of giants that has endured since the dawn of life itself. Step deeper into the forest, and the first sign of their dominion comes in the trembling of the ground. A low rumble rolls through the trees, rhythmic and steady, the footsteps of the African forest elephant, the true monarch of this wilderness. Smaller than its savanna cousins, but more mysterious, this elephant is a creature of both strength and secrecy, its tusks curved downward like ivory sabers polished by years of carving through thick vegetation. Its presence shapes the forest. Every path it treads becomes a trail for others. Every tree it knocks down becomes a nursery for new life. They are the gardeners of the jungle, the silent architects of the Congo's endless green. In the stillness, another figure appears, massive, intelligent, and hauntingly human. The lowland gorilla, one of Earth's closest relatives, moves through the foliage with a grace that contradicts its size. Families of gorillas rest beneath broad leaves, mothers cradling their infants while silverbacks watch the horizon with calm authority. Their eyes hold a wisdom that transcends species, a kind of gentle understanding that seems to question us more than we could ever question them. When they communicate, it is not just sound, it's emotion. A deep chest beat echoes through the jungle, resonating like a primal drum, reminding the world that this forest still belongs to the wild. Hidden among the shadows, another phantom prowls, the jaguar's African cousin, the elusive leopard. It moves like smoke through the trees, unseen but ever present, a master of camouflage and patience. Its golden eyes catch faint glimmers of light as it stalks silently through the undergrowth. In this kingdom, it is the ghost king, swift, precise, and untouchable. A single leap can bring down prey twice its size, but it hunts not for glory, only for survival. And then there is the Okapi, nature's secret child, born of contradictions, half zebra, half giraffe, and completely unique to this land. For centuries, it was a myth whispered by local tribes, a creature so shy it seemed to exist only in stories. It wasn't until the early 20th century that the outside world believed it was real. Its striped legs seem painted by an artist's brush, its tongue long enough to clean its own eyes. It walks in silence through shafts of light, a symbol of everything the Congo hides from the careless eye: beauty, mystery, and truth. This kingdom is not just ruled by its giants, it's held together by them. The elephants create open meadows for new plants to grow. The gorillas spread seeds as they move. Even the great cats balance the population of the jungle's smaller inhabitants. Every giant plays its part in an ancient choreography, a living system of checks, balances, and renewal that has sustained itself for millions of years. Remove one piece and the rhythm falters, yet the giants of the Congo are in peril. Poachers move through the forest with greed in their eyes and silence in their hearts. Each ivory tusk, each pelt, each trophy is a wound on this living kingdom. Logging, mining, and war carve deeper scars still. But nature has never been known to surrender easily. The giants endure, wounded, yes, but not defeated. They retreat deeper into the shadows, clinging to the last sanctuaries of the wild, waiting for humanity to remember what it has forgotten, that this world was never ours alone. The Congo's giants are more than animals. They are memories made flesh, reminders of a time when Earth was raw, untamed, and magnificent. When we look into their eyes, we see not just the wild, but the reflection of our own beginnings. And as long as they walk the forest floor, there remains hope that the heartbeat of the jungle will never fall silent. Deep within the green labyrinth of the Congo Basin, far beyond where the rivers bend and the maps end, Live people who have called this forest home since before memory itself. They move through the trees like whispers, unseen but ever present, belonging to this wilderness in ways that modern humanity has long forgotten. These are the Baka and Ika peoples, often called the forest spirits by neighboring tribes, but to themselves, they are simply the children of the forest. The jungle is not a place they live in, it is who they are. Every leaf, every breeze, every heartbeat of the forest is intertwined with their own. At dawn, the forest awakens with music, not from machines or instruments, but from human voices blending seamlessly with the sounds of nature. High, lilting songs rise from small clearings where the Baka people begin their day. These are no ordinary songs, they are calls to the forest, melodies meant to keep balance between man and nature. To the Baka, the jungle listens. They believe that every creature from the smallest ant to the largest elephant has a spirit that hears and feels. Their music is a language older than words, a harmony that connects them to the unseen forces dwelling in the mist. For countless generations, the Baka and Aka have lived in harmony with this vast green world. Their huts are made from branches and leaves woven into domes, blending so perfectly with the surroundings that from a few meters away, they vanish into the forest. They are hunters, gatherers, healers. Their survival depends not on dominance, but on understanding. To them, the forest is a parent, nurturing, teaching, protecting. They take only what they need, and in return, they give respect. When they hunt, they thank the spirit of the animal. When they harvest honey or fruit, they sing to the trees in gratitude. Their knowledge of the forest is nothing short of miraculous. They can identify hundreds of plants by sight, smell, or touch, each with a purpose. Some heal wounds, others cure fever, others serve as antidotes for poisons unknown to modern medicine. They know which roots to chew to calm hunger, which leaves will soothe a newborn, and which vines can be boiled to treat a snake bite. Scientists who have walked beside them call their wisdom instinct, but it is more than that. It is inheritance passed through song and story since time immemorial, and their stories, they are as alive as the forest itself. Around small fires under the watchful canopy, they speak of Zengi, the great spirit of the forest, the guardian who rewards harmony and punishes greed. They tell tales of spirits that move through the trees, of animals that speak, of rivers that remember. To outsiders, these may sound like myths, but to the Baka and Aka, they are truths, living reminders that the forest is not just a backdrop, but a being with a mind and heart. Their children grow up climbing trees taller than cathedrals, swimming in rivers teeming with unseen life, and tracking animals by the softest imprint in the mud. They laugh easily, move lightly, and carry no fear of the wild, because the wild is family. When night falls, their songs rise again, echoing through the darkness like a lullaby to the earth. Some nights the forest answers back. A chorus of insects, frogs, and wind forming an invisible orchestra that plays for those who listen closely enough. But even in this ancient rhythm, change is creeping in. The modern world presses closer each year, loggers, miners, and settlers pushing the boundaries of the jungle, bringing noise and hunger where silence and balance once lived. The Baka and Ika find their home shrinking, their traditions fading like smoke. Yet they endure, they adapt, they carry their songs deeper into the trees, preserving the echoes of a world that refuses to die. To know the Baka and Aka is to glimpse humanity's forgotten reflection, a life not of possession but of belonging. They remind us that the earth was never meant to be conquered, only cherished, that every forest has a soul, and that somewhere beneath the endless green, the voices of those who still understand it are singing softly, beautifully to keep the spirit of the wild alive. Beneath the tangled roots and endless canopy of the Congo Basin lies a power so vast, so silent that most of the world never even knows it exists. It does not roar like a river or move like the wind. It breathes quietly through the soil, the trees, and the mist. This is nature's secret vault, the hidden heart of the Earth's climate, a place where the jungle itself acts as a living shield guarding the balance of our planet. Scientists call it a carbon sink, but that phrase feels too mechanical, too small for what truly happens here. The Congo Basin is a living machine of life, a natural fortress that traps carbon from the atmosphere and locks it deep within its roots, leaves, and ancient peatlands. Every tree that stretches toward the sky, every fallen log sinking into the damp earth plays a part in this grand, invisible process. Together, they store more than 30 billion tons of carbon, a treasure not of gold or jewels, but of survival itself. Without it, our skies would grow hotter, our storms wilder, our future more uncertain. Picture this. Beneath the surface of the jungle lies a vast, soggy world, the Congo peatlands spanning more than 55 million acres. It is one of the largest carbon vaults on Earth, holding the remains of thousands of years of decayed plants sealed away by water and time. Each layer is a page in Earth's diary recording millennia of rain, fire, and rebirth. Disturb that balance, and those pages release their story in the form of carbon dioxide, billions of tons of it flooding back into the atmosphere. But left untouched, the peatlands remain guardians of stability, storing the breath of the planet. Above ground, the forest performs a miracle of balance every single day. Through photosynthesis, its billions of leaves inhale the excess carbon we exhale, transforming poison into air. It is a silent exchange, a partnership between humanity and nature that has existed since our beginning. The Congo Basin produces nearly 8% of the world's oxygen, a contribution so essential that every breath you take carries a trace of this ancient forest within it. Yet what makes this vault truly extraordinary is not only what it holds, but how it endures. The ecosystem here is a master of resilience. Even after storms, fires, and floods, the forest finds a way to rebuild. Fallen trees become nurseries for new ones. Ashes give rise to fresh growth. Death feeds life. It is a perfect cycle, one that science still struggles to fully understand. Each plant, insect, and microorganism plays a role in recycling matter, purifying air, and preserving equilibrium. The forest has evolved to defend itself, to protect the planet even as we harm it. But this vault, like all treasures, faces thieves. Logging, mining, and slash and burn farming tear open its sealed layers, releasing ancient carbon into the sky. In a single year, millions of tons of greenhouse gases escape, undoing centuries of balance. The forest that once protected us now suffocates under the weight of human ambition. The peatlands, drained for farmland, dry and crack, exhaling carbon that had been stored since the Ice Age. It's like opening Pandora's box. Once disturbed, the damage cannot easily be undone. Still, hope lingers in the green. Across Africa, scientists, local communities, and conservationists are racing to defend this living vault. They map the peatlands with satellites, plant new trees, and work hand in hand with the forest's native guardians, those who have always known how to live in rhythm with the land. For them, the Congo is not just a protector, it is sacred. And in their care, the forest stands a chance to continue its quiet work of healing. What makes the Congo Basin so extraordinary is not just its beauty, but its humility. It asks for nothing, gives everything, and asks only to be left in peace. It doesn't demand attention, it sustains life in silence. While cities grow louder and the world races ahead, this jungle stands as a reminder that the greatest power is often the one that whispers, not the one that shouts. Deep beneath its roots, the earth still breathes, slowly, patiently, and the Congo Basin keeps its promise to protect life, to store time, and to hold the memory of a world that still believes in balance. Beneath the endless canopy of the Congo Basin lies a mystery so profound that even in the age of satellites and science, it remains largely untouched, unseen, and unknown. The deeper you venture, the darker it gets, not from the absence of light, but from the weight of secrets that time has chosen to keep. This is the last great frontier on Earth, a living labyrinth where life still hides in shadow, waiting to be discovered. Scientists call it one of the least explored ecosystems on the planet, but the truth is even grander. It's not just unexplored, it's unimaginable. In this place, every step feels like trespassing into another world. There are valleys so deep that sunlight barely brushes the ground, and canopies so thick they create their own weather systems. When the rains fall, it feels as if the heavens themselves are speaking, and below that rain, beneath centuries of leaf and soil, the unknown stirs. Every expedition into the Congo Basin has uncovered something new, a creature, a plant, a sound never heard before. And yet, even after decades of exploration, scientists admit that more than half of its species remain unrecorded. Imagine a world where frogs flash with neon light under moonlit rain, where insects glow like embers drifting in the air, and where orchids bloom from trees that have never been named. In the depths of its swamps and peatlands, strange fish glide through black water, species so rare that only a few have ever been seen by human eyes. There are snakes that vanish into roots as if swallowed by the forest, birds whose calls echo like laughter from the unseen, and butterflies that shimmer like liquid glass. Each one is a clue, a fragment of a grand design still unfolding in the heart of the jungle. But perhaps the most haunting mystery of all is not what we found, but what we haven't. For centuries, local tribes have spoken of creatures that defy science. The Mokul Mbem, a massive river-dwelling being said to resemble a long-necked dinosaur moving silently through the swamps of the Congo River Basin. To Western ears, it sounds like myth, a legend carried through generations. But to those who live here, it is more than a story. Hunters, elders, and travelers claim to have seen its shadow gliding beneath the water, felt the ripples it left behind. Scientists have searched, cameras have rolled, and though no evidence has ever confirmed its existence, the mystery endures. Because in a land so vast, so deep, who can truly say what hides beneath the surface? The Congo's mystery extends beyond biology. Its soil holds the memories of forgotten civilizations. Ancient artifacts swallowed by vines, carvings eroded by rain. Whole villages have disappeared without a trace, consumed by the forest's slow, patient hunger. For every answer found, a dozen new questions rise. The deeper you look, the more the Congo reminds us of how little we know, not just about the jungle, but about life itself. Yet the mystery is not meant to frighten. It's meant to awaken. It invites us to remember that wonder still exists, that even in a world mapped by satellites and drones, there are places where the wild refuses to surrender its secrets. The Congo Basin is not an empty darkness. It is a cradle of creation still in motion. Every unseen species, every hidden sound, every flicker of color under the canopy reminds us that evolution is still at work shaping, building, dreaming. But this fragile mystery faces a race against time. With deforestation spreading, mining expanding, and climate shifting, the Congo's secrets risk being erased before they are ever revealed. Entire species may vanish without a name. Songs may go silent before they're heard. The greatest tragedy is not what we have lost, but what we will never even know existed. And yet the jungle endures. It waits because the Congo Basin has always been patient, older than our empires, wiser than our machines. It hides not out of fear, but out of purpose, keeps its wonders safe from those not ready to understand them. It whispers through the rain, reminding us that mystery is not something to be conquered, but something to be cherished. So when you think of the Congo, don't think only of trees and rivers, think of the heartbeat beneath them, the secrets that breathe in silence, the stories yet untold. For in this last untamed wilderness, the unknown is not our enemy, it is our teacher. And as the mist rises and the jungle exhales, one truth remains: the Congo Basin is not just a place on our planet, it is a reminder of everything beautiful, wild, and sacred that still survives within it and within us.